And after one day off, we're back for our NBA Best Bets. Obviously, the NBA taking off Thanksgiving. We're back now for this Friday slate of basketball games on, of course, November 28th. We've got most teams playing today. It's a big slate of games. And, of course, we have our 5 best bets. Now, folks, before we get into the video, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below for some more daily NBA Best Bets here on the channel. This is an NBA Cup day, if I'm not mistaken. I'm, very confident it is. So, I think this is the final one, too. So, we get, it's a Cup day. We get finality, I believe, and we get to see again where our matchups will be for the NBA Cup. I guess as we go on and I give predictions and moneyline bets, I guess I'll say where I think each team's going to be in terms of the final bracket for the NBA Cup, in terms of their chase to Vegas for the $500,000. Anyways, folks, again, hit that subscribe button down below for more. Earlier today, we posted our college basketball best bets, so go make sure to check that out. That'll be linked in the description down below. There'll be timestamps in this video, as long as I remember, for each individual bet, so you can skip to where you want to see, or what you want to see, obviously, with the no graphics on the screen today. Tomorrow we'll be back in the normal setup for over a month, so we'll be fine there. Again, folks, let's do it. First, the 5 best bets today is going to be a moneyline bet. Let's do this again with the Detroit Pistons, okay? Let's do this again with Detroit. The Pistons are at home against the Magic. Why are they only minus 130 favorites? I'm concerned. I'm concerned. Why are they only minus 130? This feels too good to be true. Because am I missing something here? I mean, I don't know why the Pistons are not bigger favorites. I know they just lost a game to Boston. I understand. It's not like we are seeing the very injured Pistons again. Yeah, sure, Jaden Ivey's out. That sucks. Okay, that's it. I mean, why are they only minus 130? Shouldn't they be like minus 150, minus 160 here? I don't get that. I get it, Orlando's playing much better basketball. The Magic have been winning. Banchero's still out, and yet again, even with the Banchero injury, Orlando has found ways to win. Are we not forgetting, though, the win streak the Pistons were on? I get it, they just lost to Boston, but this team is 15-3 for a reason. This team goes out and wins 13 consecutive games. You think they're going to drop 2 in a row? I don't think so. I really do not think so. By the way, they're back at home, too. This is a big game, if I'm not mistaken, for the Cup itself, as yes, the winner of this game will win Group B. I think the loser might be in line for the wild card, especially if it's Orlando. I think Orlando's basically kind of in, because the Magic's point differential is already 61, and that's likely, unless they get blown out here, it's going to be better than the other runners-up in the other 2 groups. I'm talking about the Cavaliers and the New York Knicks, and I guess the Milwaukee Bucks as well. So it seems like, again, Orlando's kind of in, but if they win this game, obviously they will get a home game and likely the #1 seed in the Eastern Conference side of things. If they lose it, obviously, then they're going to have to go on the road and probably take on they'll have to take on the Raptors up in Toronto. So obviously a big game for them. Again, if they care about the $500,000 and whatnot, I would think a team like this probably would. Again, a team that is trying to prepare for a playoff run and hasn't, again, been in a winning spot just yet. But anyways, I like Detroit here. I know the Pistons, again, let us down the other day. They played a competitive game in Boston. I understand it's not the Celtics team that we've seen the last couple of years. Obviously, that's won championships before and made deep runs in the playoffs. It still can be a tricky team, and Cade Cunningham, posted 42 points. They lost the game. Okay, it is what it is. We were on the wrong side of that one. I thought Detroit was going to be able to carry the win streak, and unfortunately for us, they were not able to do so. But it's still a very good team. It's not like they're banged up again. You still have, again, Cade's healthy, Duncan Robinson, Asar Thompson, Tobias Harris, Jalen Duren. You've got the bench pieces except for Jaden Ivey, who I believe is out this game. Actually, no, Ivey's questionable. He could potentially play as well tonight. Again, no Banchero for the Magic. They have found ways to win without Paolo. I don't think they're better without Banchero, but, guys have had to step up for the Magic in Banchero's absence. I'm talking about guys like Anthony Black, Jalen Suggs. Obviously, Franz Wagner was the biggest player on this team last year who stepped up when Banchero went out for, a extended period of time with an injury. How about a Jet Howard, who was, he put up 30 points in just a couple games ago. He's been a big player off the bench for this team, and I get it, Orlando's coming off a huge blowout victory in their last game on Tuesday in the NBA Cup, blowing out Philadelphia 144-103. That's the whole reason they have such a huge, lead in the point differential race right now. And again, all the starters are playing fairly well. Desmond Bane's putting up points again. I don't think Bane's putting up the numbers entirely that the Magic thought he was going to give them this year. Again, he's been good. He has not been great. He's not been all-star caliber, which I think that's what Orlando had in mind when they brought him in the offseason. But it is what it is. Wendell Carter's done a good enough job at the 5 for them this season, and they get huge bench minutes again out of guys like Anthony Black. We mentioned Jet Howard. Batadze, honestly, is going to play big bench minutes as well. Orlando's a deep team. I'm not going to deny that, but I think Detroit is better. Again, I've said it before, am I sold on the Pistons playoff run? Absolutely not. Am I sold on this team going deep in the postseason? No, I think they're going to, I hate to say it, I think this is going to be like a 2016 Hawks type beat, or whatever, 2015 Hawks type beat. The Cavs last season, I kind of feel like that's what this is going to be out of Detroit. But, who knows? Again, it's a regular season game here, though. I think they'll be fine. Again, Cade Cunningham's a big-time scorer for them. Obviously, in their loss against Boston, Cunningham still showed up scoring-wise, as he did drop 42 in that one. The problem against Boston, though, is just Cade, and I understand a lot of their games, it's just the game plan for it to be just Cade, because that's what Cunningham does. He is a huge scorer for them. He takes most of their shots. Again, he attempted 26 shots and 16 free throws against Boston. He gets such a high volume of what they do, and that's fine. Again, Jalen Duren with 12 points, Duncan Robinson with 11, Tobias Harris with 12, Asar Thompson with 8, and Karis LeVert with 10. It's just how they want to play, and that's the way that they do play, so that's fine. But all things considered here, okay, big matchup in terms of the winner of this game will win Group B. I believe if Detroit wins, they're going to go on the road. Because Miami's already had their games. Yeah, so if Detroit wins, they're going to go on the road in group number to take on the Group C winner, which I believe is the Heat. Or I think the Knicks. Can the Knicks still win it? I don't think so. I need to check this. I don't think the Knicks can win it anymore. Oh no, the first Cup game New York did win. So okay, so I think if Detroit wins, they're going likely on the road to either Miami or New York. If Orlando wins, they are going to be the number 1 seed, and they will probably host the loser who doesn't win Group C between Miami and New York. I think that's how it's going to work. Anyways, I'm going with Orlando. I'm going with Detroit, excuse me. I'm going with Orlando to lose. Give me Pistons money line in the spot, -130 for Cade Cunningham and the guys. Little dubious with the odds here, so I'm a little concerned there. But I'm going to go with Detroit. Everything to me screams like they should win, so give me the Pistons at home. Next up, let's go with another money line play. All right, let's try again. Give me the Chicago Bulls to beat the Charlotte Hornets. Okay, guys, this is so, I get it. This team is injured. I understand. This team just lost to New Orleans, but this team has had 4 nights to sit there and think about going to New Orleans, going to Louisiana, and losing to a two-win Pelicans team. They've had 4 nights to think about it. You're telling me they're not going to go to Charlotte and beat the Hornets? No shot, okay? The Pels are bad. The Hornets are that bad too. I would say Charlotte is slightly better, but I mean, come on. The Hornets are 4-14. The Bulls have fallen now to 9-8, and I understand there is a huge list of injuries, and I'll get to that in a second. But the Bulls have had to think about this game for 4 nights after that disastrous loss where they let the Pelicans score 143 points on them. That is an absurd amount for a Pelicans team that is one of the lowest scoring teams in basketball. It was absurd. Chicago had their stretches of the game where they were able to put up points, where they were putting up big numbers, but, obviously it's not going to be enough when your opponents score 143. Now, there are a bunch of injuries today for the Chicago Bulls. Everyone is questionable, essentially, except for Isaac Okoro, who's already been, he's not out, but he's doubtful, so I doubt he plays. The long list of injuries starts with Kobe White, who's probably the biggest factor in this game. Kobe White is the number 1 scorer for the Bulls. Yes, again, Josh Giddey is the best player on this team. Josh Giddey's likely the all-star on this team, but Kobe White, when he's on the court, is their most efficient scorer and effective scorer. Again, Josh Giddey on the team, obviously, he's not on the injury list, thankfully, their best player all around, who averages 21, 10, and 9.5 this season. Yeah, he's averaging near triple-double numbers. Again, this has to be a first-year All-Star this year. Does the Australian, or will the Australian be in Giddey? So again, that's the first injury in Kobe White. It gets worse, or I don't know how worse this gets, but Nikola Vucevic is questionable with the knee injury. Again, Vucci Mane has not played in a minute. Hit some big shots and was a big factor in their victory over the Washington Wizards on Saturday, a competitive game that, should not have been that competitive. Bulls win. Vucci Mane's getting interviewed at the end of the game, and Vucci Mane is not too happy about how they win it. Obviously, his teammates are trying to give him, they're trying to give him the water shower and whatnot behind him, and Vucci Mane is just like, we should not be playing this team that tight. And it's the absolute truth. They should not have been playing the Wizards in a 1-point game. They win, and Vucci Mane played well, scored 28 and had 12 boards. And honestly, again, I've been very hard on Vucci Mane all year long, at least defensively. He wasn't horrible in the Wizards game. He's been bad in spots this season, and again, he's a confusing player. Like, look at the Trailblazers game. I've talked about it before. He gets dominated in that game by Donovan Clingan. By the way, the Blazers suck, and we've faded them quite a bit for good reason this year. How about the Spurs the other night? But he's getting dominated by Donovan Clingan the entire game. The only reason, honestly, the Blazers got back in that game, made their big comeback, was because of the lack of defense and the lack of boards Vucci Main was getting. And then he hits a game-winning three to win the game at the buzzer. And you're like, oh, okay. Well, can't be too mad about his defensive struggles now if he's going to do that. Again, confusing player. And I don't know. Again, I've seen mocks of Anthony Davis being traded to the Bulls and what the Bulls would need to give up. I'm now out on Anthony Davis going to Chicago if they need to trade Kobe White and need to trade probably Okoro too. No. There's no reason for them to do that. I would say that if I'm the Bulls, stick with the plan, rebuild through the draft, keep Vucci Main for now, and then find a better defensive center. And let Giddey and White continue to run the offense. You don't need to give up that many. If you need to give up Kobe White, which, again, I understand like a couple years ago this would be crazy if I said, oh, you can't give up Kobe White for Anthony Davis. You can't. The way Kobe White's playing, the way he's scoring, the way that he's actually using his size now to pull up and shoot mid-range shots, there's no chance in hell that you can trade Kobe White right now. Kobe White and Josh Giddey are developing into a really good 1-2 duo, obviously. You can't trade Kobe. I think Dosunmu was in the trade too. I think it was White, Dosunmu, Okoro, and a couple firsts. Hell no, you cannot give Dallas that. No shot. Stick with the plan. Don't love Vucci Main, but I think the Bulls need to, again, keep those guys around. Patrick Williams questionable. Herter questionable. Dalen Terry questionable. That sucks. Again, Terry's been out for a little bit. Patrick Williams, some nights has his days, some nights doesn't. Herter, again, depending on the night. There's no way to lose to the Hornets, right? I mean, Charlotte's a 4-win team. Again, the Bulls just lost to the Pelicans. It doesn't get worse than that. That is the definition of a wake-up call. I mean, the Bulls commentators were frying their own team the entire game, talking about how, oh, there's no defense being played. This is a disgusting effort out of the Bulls. It was horrible. There's no way they play that badly again. Charlotte's fully healthy. Again, you know what they bring. LaMelo Ball. Con Knupple's been really good in his rookie season. Miles Bridges actually had a big year as well so far. Sexton's been good off the bench in most spots. They've got a pretty good team. Kalk Brenner, shout out to the Kalk in Ball connection. Kalk and Ball. Obviously with LaMelo and Ryan Kalkbrenner, they've been good. They've been really good. Again, those two. But Charlotte's a 4-14 team. The entire team has not been good. I think the Bulls win this basketball game. I understand it's at the Spectrum Center. At least I think that's still what it's called in Charlotte. But I'm going with the Bulls to win this basketball game. Give me Giddey and the guys to get it done. I know they're injured, but Giddey's playing. We have potential for Kobe White to play. Guys, Kobe White's not injured. It's just rest purposes with Kobe White that it's being stated on. The reason why, again, he's questionable is because I think the Bulls are still deciding if they want him to play tonight or play tomorrow against Indiana. My guess is they're going to have him play tonight. Not because they think, oh, Charlotte's more of a threat than Indiana is. The Bulls are already out of the in-season tournament, so they can't even advance. They're 1-2 in this thing. I think it's because I think he's going to play today because he's had 4 days of rest going into this game. You bring him back for the Indiana game, he gets an extra day of rest, sure, but then Chicago just plays on Monday, so then he's going to have, 1 day off in between to get ready for a game in Orlando. I think you play him tonight, have him sit the Indiana game, and then have him ready to go on Monday, December 1st on the road in Orlando. So give me Chicago to win the basketball game. Bulls money line, this is the night, trust. -135 for Chicago on the road in Charlotte. Next up, we go to our first player prop of the day, and we move to the best player in the National Basketball Association. That shall be Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. The line's too low. Again, I don't want to continue to go to Shai every single day, but guys, I have to here. It's 30.5 tonight for SGA. We took him the other night on Wednesday. The line was 31.5. Against the Timberwolves, he scored 40. It was a rare occasion in which Shai Gilgeous-Alexander actually had to play the fourth quarter. And I'm not going to, maybe I'll get into my spiel about how great this guy is. But 40 points for SGA, 46-6 against Minnesota. They win the game. Again, it's a rare game where OKC has to play their starters. They have to play the MVP deep into the game, but they find a way to win. And now OKC, again, is sitting at 18-1. My favorite team's 13-4. We're in second place. This is the best start my team's had since they won the championship. And I'm just like, this is great. How are we going to win in the playoffs? I'm trying to get excited for the Lakers, and I am excited. I love watching Luka, AR, and Braun, and DeAndre Ayton when he's healthy. I'm looking ahead in the standings. I'm like, well, how are we going to beat OKC? Doesn't matter if we're the 2 seed. We're going to run this team in the Western. We're going to run into this team in the conference finals, and we're probably going to lose in 5. I don't know what to say. We might get swept. Regardless, though, SGA line is 30.5 tonight. Jalen Williams does come back. I considered going with J-Dub's line. It's 13.5 tonight for J-Dub. but didn't like that one way or the other. Again, I don't know where the minutes are going to be at for Jalen Williams. Anyways, though, we're going to go Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Obviously, this is a cup game. It's between the Phoenix Suns and the Oklahoma City Thunder, obviously. I believe OKC has this cup already, there's division locked up. No, they don't. I forgot. Phoenix is 3-0 in the cup. So this game actually matters. The loser of this game, I believe, is the wild card. I think with point differential. Well, if OKC blows out Phoenix, it might not be Phoenix. No. This chance Memphis moves on to the next round? No, it'll likely be the loser of this game is going to be the wild card. Even if OKC blows them out, Memphis has to go to LA. They probably won't win that game. And then there's going to have to be a loser of Nuggets, Spurs. They'll have 2 losses. Yeah. Oh, Clippers. Oh, wait, no. If the Suns get blown out, it'll be the winner. Oh, no. But the differential is going to work for the Suns. Yeah. No, the Suns are going to be in. So, likely, no, yeah, it's pretty much for sure. Loser of this game is going to be the wild card. Winner of this game wins Group A. So the Phoenix Suns are going to find themselves in the Final Four of the NBA Cup, and likely, yeah, we're going to see a rematch. Probably. No, the Lakers could be the one if the Suns win. Well, okay, we know what's going to happen. OKC's a 15.5-point favorite. They're going to win, and they're going to get Phoenix yet again. So we're going to get a rematch of Thunder Suns in the first round of the NBA Cup, and then we're going to get Lakers versus either Spurs or Nuggets. Spurs, please. You know, I get to see Jokic so many times per season. That's enough. I don't need to watch Jokic versus the Lakers again. Give me San Antonio, please. So go Spurs tonight after their big win the other day in Portland. Anyways, they probably won't go to Denver and win, though, so we're probably going to get the Nuggets. It'll be in LA, though, so we'll see. Anyways, give me Shai Gilgeous-Alexander over 30.5 points. It's down a point. It's usually 31.5. It's only at 30.5 today. I mean, this is a player that averages 32.5 points per game, but in a cup game against a team that I think might give OKC some trouble. The Suns are not a team on paper you look at and say, oh, this is going to be dangerous. Well, again, they do put up fights. They shoot the ball quite a bit. They play with a high pace. A lot of possessions, a lot of opportunity for SGA. I don't mind this. You know, and also, by the way, it's not a Phoenix team that plays really good defense. I mean, you know, normally this would be a Grayson Allen assignment for Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, or at least, again, defensively, right, Grayson Allen's going to be on Shai. Well, Grayson Allen's still out. I mean, are they going to put Dylan Brooks on SGA, or are they just going to match up Booker or a Jordan Goodwin or a Ryan Dunn's out? Their defensive guys are out. I don't know who they're going to put on SGA, either Booker or Brooks. Don't really care. Gilgeous-Alexander finds ways to score against everybody. And again, I keep saying it, the guy has a three-point ball now. The one hole in his game was, yeah, he's great everywhere, great finisher, one of the best mid-range shots ever, gets to the free throw line at will. He can't shoot the three-point ball. Oh, he can now. He's just such a dangerous scorer, and he can attack you at so many different angles. Just the way this game's going to play out, again, I don't really expect J-Dub to take many of the points away from Gilgeous-Alexander. Again, SGA is going to get his shots. SGA is going to get his possessions. He's going to get his big minutes, obviously. He's going to continue to put up those MVP-type lines. The only difference that J-Dub brings for this team is that, okay, he's going to take away from the scoring of a guy like Lou Dort and just take away from some of his threes. The shots that Chet gets right now, that's going to go to Jalen Williams because, again, he's an all-star player that's going to need to get shots up, and at the same time, too, this is J-Dub's first game back. It's J-Dub's first game back. He's not going to play big minutes. It's obviously Shai's team. He's the best player in the sport, and he's gonna attack the rim. He's gonna get to the line. I don't think Phoenix is gonna be able to guard him. And oh, by the way, look at look at how quick and look how fast Phoenix games go. They pull and take a bunch of shots all game long. And Booker's gonna shoot. Brooks will shoot. Royce O'Neal will shoot. Gillespie. All these guys can take quick shots. They are not afraid to. First good look we see, we're taking. So I'm going here with Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. You know, I'm not to beat a dead horse, but I think it's a really good spot. We've gone to SGA quite a bit, and I think he's going to go over tonight. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander over 30.5 points here for OKC at home against the Phoenix Suns to clinch the #1 seed in the NBA Cup. Is there a chance the Lakers get the #1 seed? No. OKC's point differential is 71. Okay. Yep. OKC with the 1 seed. Lakers. We will get Denver. Okay. Anyways, on that to our fourth best bet of the video, we go to a money line play with two teams that are obviously very eliminated, not just in the NBA Cup, but likely in the NBA playoffs as well. Well, you never know what the Western Conference playing this year. I'm talking about the Utah Jazz and the Sacramento Kings. I am going with the 5-12 Jazz to beat the 5-14 Kings. Guys, Utah's only 1 game out of the play-in. Sacramento's only 2 games out of the play-in. So, you think these team seasons are over? They're not. They're very alive. Anyways, give me Utah. Utah's at home. We're going to get close to even money here. We're going to get minus 120 for Utah. They're at home, and the Kings suck. Okay, it is no secret how bad the Sacramento Kings are. This is one of the worst teams in basketball. There is frustration growing in Sacramento. There is, obviously there's, Sacramento at least is looking to potentially sell the team in terms of sell the trade or sell trade assets on this team with Zach LaVine, with DeMar DeRozan, with Domantas Sabonis. Everybody's tradable except for a guy like Keegan Murray. The only problem is who's going to take these contracts. Sure, there are teams that are going to be interested in players, again, like Sabonis, like DeRozan. Who's going to take these guys? I don't know. Anyways, though, the Kings are still a mess. No Sabonis tonight, if I'm not mistaken, right? Sabonis, Sabonis still out for a month. So, no Sabonis. You have Drew Eubanks at the 5, all right, against Jusuf Nurkic. What a matchup. Two backup centers going at it. And this is gonna be a crapshoot. I understand. Well, in terms of, like, the game's gonna be stupid. It's gonna be a bunch of scoring and no defense, because that's how both of these teams play. However, who can play the no defense game better? Utah. It's in Utah's environment. It's at altitude, up in Salt Lake. We've seen teams go to Salt Lake and have trouble, especially off of with some time off. Sacramento, albeit only just took one day off, but still, this is a team in Utah that plays much better at home because they can get into these crazy shootouts. They're used to the elevation, they're used to the altitude, and we just saw a couple days ago the Lakers came into Utah and almost lost a game to the Jazz. That loaded Lakers team that's second in the West right now almost went to Utah and lost, and the interview Luka gave right after the game was, yeah, we've been off for a while and this altitude really gets to you. I mean, we're thankful we won the game, but this was a lot closer than at least we wanted it to be. The Jazz can be difficult, and they've got scores, and man, the progression out of Keontae George this season, my goodness. Keontae George is a 24 points per game scorer for this team. Lauri Markkanen obviously is averaging 28.5 points per game. Obviously, Markkanen is an automatic, almost 30 every single night because of what the Jazz are, and, it's the empty stats every single season for Lauri. But Keontae George recently is taking on a lot of the load scoring-wise. Again, he's been last 10 games for Keontae George. I mean, the guy's been averaging, let me get this right, Keontae George has been averaging 24 points in the last 10 games. I guess that's close to his average of the season. Last 5, though, let me be more specific. Last 5 games, Keontae George is averaging 30.5 points per night. Yeah, he's been a big-time scorer for this team. The three-point ball has always been a concern for Keontae George. Came a couple weeks ago, he was like 20-something% three-point shooter, and it's not that much better yet. He's only still a 32% three-point shooter, but again, to get that up about, I think legitimately 10% over the last week and a half is absolutely massive. At least, again, he goes from being a 20% three-point shooter or 25% three-point shooter in the month of October to now a 35% three-point shooter in the month of November. But trust me, again, this last 5-game stretch against Chicago, Los Angeles, OKC, the Lakers again, and the Warriors, he's been so good. And it all started because he hit the game-winning shot in double overtime against Chicago. I mean, again, watching that game, that's the shot the Bulls wanted to give up. Sure, it was a little bit uncontested because Patrick Williams, I don't know what he's doing half the time he's on the court, but, Keontae George gets a look and he pulls up, or he gets a shot, a pretty deep three. It's somewhat uncontested, sure, but that's the guy the Bulls wanted the ball to go to. They just didn't want the ball to go to Lauri. And in a tie game, with 3 seconds left, Keontae George takes a shot from beyond the arc. You're thinking, okay, we're going to triple overtime. No, George hits, game over. I like the Jazz quite a bit, guys. Sacramento's in shambles. Obviously, they had the big thing where I think it was a season ticket holder, and Zach LaVine got into it. Obviously, there's a lot of spotlight's been put on the Kings' lack of defensive basketball. Zach LaVine taking some possessions off. It is the case. Again, you can nitpick things though. Like LaVine, there are spots where he is playing really good defensive basketball, and there's other spots where he just olays guys, and that's the entire team. Let's be honest. I mean, guys, what did you expect out of this Kings team? They're starting Russell Westbrook, Zach LaVine, DeMar DeRozan. What did you expect? I mean, the worst thing this team could have ever done was bring in DeMar. Nothing against DeMar, but he doesn't fit what the Kings wanted to do. And now they've just changed their entire style of play because, DeMar DeRozan ISO ball. We're going to go ISO ball for 20 seconds and then take a mid-range shot. I mean, come on now. And the fact Keon Ellis has gotten squeezed out pretty much of the rotation. I know he played in the Phoenix game, but I mean, this guy went from being a 20-plus minutes per night guy to, he plays like 10 minutes off the bench. Why? Keon Ellis is one of their better players, only 25. Whatever, man. I don't know what Sacramento's doing. Okay, this team's in shambles. I'm taking Utah. I think the Jazz play this game obviously better than Sacramento. And by the way, again, it's at altitude. Jazz are in their environment. I'm going with Utah to win this basketball game. Give me Jazz money line here at home, minus 120 from the Delta Center in Salt Lake City. On to our final best bet of the video, we go to the Amazon Prime game in Los Angeles, California, not the Clippers. Obviously, the Los Angeles Lakers. It is Anthony Davis's first game back in Los Angeles. AD has played against the Lakers, but that was in Dallas last season. He did not play. He was still injured when he made his return, or when the Mavs went to LA. Here he comes back to crypto to take on LeBron, Luka, and the Lakers. It's not about AD, though. It's not about AD. We're going to go Luka Doncic tonight, though. Over 50.5 points, rebounds, and assists. I have nothing to say about Anthony Davis. I think his time is really, limited, obviously, with Dallas. And obviously, there's a chance he's going to play tonight. He has not played in a minute. He has been saying, obviously I want to get this one. I think he's going to try to play. Got injured on October 29th against the Indiana Pacers. Has not played since. It looks like he's going to play. I think he's going to. I think he wants to just get this game out of the way and not have it linger for the rest of the year and, second half of the year, regardless if he's on Dallas or not. He's got to come back to LA. I think he wants to get it over with, and I think he's going to play tonight. So we'll see AD playing in LA for the first time. That should be really interesting. I don't really care about that, though. I do. It'll be interesting, but I'm going Luka. Why wouldn't I, guys? Luka Doncic, if it was not for Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Luka Doncic would be the surefire most valuable player in the league. There's a chance they might give it to Luka. If Luka can get the required amount of games, which it seems like he's going to get, they might due to voter fatigue, but I don't think there's enough fatigue on Shai just yet. I don't think there should be. And this is coming from a Lakers guy. I'm literally wearing a Lakers shirt. I don't think there should be enough fatigue on Shai right now. I think voter fatigue's stupid in its own right. And obviously, I guess Luka's not even number 2 in the MVP race right now. It's Jokic. Whatever. If it's Jokic or Shai, I think it should easily go to Shai. I said that last year. I said the year before. I think this year, too, it should go to Shai. Anyways, though, we're going Luka Doncic over 50.5 points, rebounds, and assists. Okay, well, there's a lot of things going into this one. One, Luka gets this more than half of his games anyway because of just how many points he scores. He averages 35 points per game, he averages 9 rebounds a game, and he averages 9 assists per game. It's absurd what Luka Doncic does on a daily basis. Luka, again, on average, averages 53 PRA per game. Okay, LeBron is back, so that does take away from some of the rebound potential spots and points too, but not really. Like you would think it is. Luka's still getting his 10 rebounds. He's still scoring 40-plus points, and I really didn't think the points were going to take too big of a hit because Luka's going to get his shots up. Rebounds-wise, he's been fine. LeBron's going to get assists, too. They're both going to get their, they're both going to get their stats. I don't think it really affects either one too much. Doncic is playing 40 minutes a game. Is he overworked a little bit? Kind of, but Luka obviously playing, in the offseason over in Slovenia. I think that's what he needed. He's been fine this year. Conditioning, he's looked fine. He's obviously not out of shape anymore. Doncic has been great this year. So we're looking at a game here where, just on a normal basis, Doncic usually goes over 50.5 points, rebounds, and assists. On top of that, he's playing the Mavericks. Yeah, sign me up. Luka doesn't forget. And, Mavs fans, Luka's, remorseful now. He wants to come back. I don't think so. I think he's going to stay in Los Angeles for the rest of his career because he's going to continue to get paid. But if we want to look at the 2 Luka games against Dallas so far, again, the first one in LA that's when Luka just got traded. It was his 4th game as a Laker. When Luka played the Mavs the first time in Los Angeles, weird spot. Luka could not hit a three-pointer, only scored 19 points and 15 boards and 12 assists, still posted a triple-double. But the second Luka game against the Mavs was a whole different story. Second to last game of the regular season, at least for Doncic. Luka, 45 points, 8 boards, and 6 assists. We're going to see a line like that. My final stat line prediction for Luka Doncic tonight is going to be 40 points, 11 rebounds, and 13 assists. It's a game again, Luka. This game's circled on the calendar for Doncic. So, just trust me on this one. This is a Luka dominant spot. He's going to try to put up 40. He's going to try to put up a triple-double. And he's going to talk his shit, too, when he does it. I know Nico's gone. Nico's been fired. I don't think that really matters to Luka. He's still going. Every time Doncic plays the Mavs for the rest of his career, it's going to be something where he's looking to, again, stick it to Dallas every single time and just completely dominate. I think the fact that AR is playing the way that he does actually really helps Doncic because you can't, again, completely just disrespect what AR does now that he's a 28 points per game scorer. And oh, by the way, now LeBron James is back. And LeBron James is now getting back into scoring 20 points per night. That's dangerous. It really is. Assists-wise, we'll see if DeAndre Ayton plays, because obviously that's Luka's lob guy. DA's probable. So we're going to get Ayton against AD, which should be interesting, but I like the Lakers a lot in this spot, and I like Luka Doncic a lot in this spot. Give me a 40-point triple-double tonight for Luka, but all we need, again, is over 50.5 points, rebounds, and assists. Folks, thank y'all for watching our NBA Best Bets here on November 28th. If you haven't yet, though, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below for more. Make sure to leave a like if you did enjoy the video. Make sure to comment if you do disagree with any of the picks. We'll be back tomorrow for more daily NBA Best Bets. Folks, thank y'all for watching, and Mamba forever.